before the cock crows today, you will deny me 3 times. Deny that you know me. And so we've got this wonderful guy here, Simon Peter, who's so certain that he'll never deny Jesus. And then we track down just a few verses later to verse 54. And unfortunately, everything rather unravels. Here we are, verse 54. Then seizing him, this is Jesus at this point, he has been arrested. Then seizing him, they led him away and took him into the house of the high priest. Peter followed at a distance. And when some there had kindled a fire in the middle of the courtyard and had sat down together, Peter sat down with them. A servant girl saw him seated there in the firelight. She looked closely at him and said, "This man was with him," i.e. Jesus. But he denied it. "Woman, I don't know him," he said. A little later, someone else saw him and said, "You also are one of them." "Man, I am not," Peter replied. About an hour later, another asserted, "Certainly this fellow was with him, for he is a Galilean." Peter replied, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about." Just as he was speaking, the cock crowed. The Lord turned and looked straight at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word that the Lord had spoken to him. "Before the cock crows today, you will disown me 3 times. And he went outside and wept bitterly. Don't know how you feel, but that gets me every time. I see so much of myself in Peter. I'm a very certain character. I'm very certain that, this is the way, and we're going to do it this way, and this is certainly where we need to go. I would be Peter right here in verse, 33, saying, "I'm ready to go with you to prison and to death." But I wonder how I would have been in the face of such fear as this man who I knew was God and who was my best friend and my teacher and my guide was suddenly arrested. And you've got all the weight of the Roman Empire and all the anger of some of the Jewish elders. I think I would have crumbled too. So we see this certainty, and then we see a real undoing. But wonderfully, as always happens with Jesus, and this is slightly jumping to Easter Sunday, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to take a liberty to do so. We see that Jesus doesn't leave Peter in the undoing. But he transforms him, and he reinstates him, and he heals him, and he commissions him. So come with me to John chapter 21, verses 15 to 17. If you're in the Bibles, it's page 1090. John 21, verses 15 to 17. And here Jesus has come through death to life. He is resurrected, and he is appearing to his disciples again until he fully returns to the heavenlies. So, verse 15. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," he said. "You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my lambs." Again, Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He answered, "Yes, Lord. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep." The 3rd time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the 3rd time, "Do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." And there we see it, don't we? The beauty of Jesus. That he hasn't left Simon Peter there in that place of weeping. He's allowed him to take that very human journey and work out what he's done and then come to points of repentance. And then he reinstates Peter. And Peter becomes one of the most extraordinary founders of the early church. You flip to Acts, just a few, one book along really, Luke's sequel. And you see that Peter is utterly transformed this Pentecost, and he gets up and he preaches to the crowds that he is a key leader of the early church, and eventually he will die for his faith. He will be martyred for his faith in Jesus. And so we've got this human journey of this guy, Simon Peter, full of confidence, saying, probably in a bit of sort of unknowing, Jesus, I'll never fail you. Then he does fail Jesus, but then Jesus picks him up and transforms him. And so I just wondered this morning if we might sit in two questions. Actually, where do you see yourself in this journey? Are you at the point of kind of certainty? Are you at the point of undoing? Are you at the point of transformation? What's the Lord doing? And what might the Lord be calling you to this Easter time? What might he want to transform? So where do you see yourself in this journey? And what might Jesus want to transform in you this Easter time? So we'll just sit for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to sing a few more, maybe one more worship song, and we'll head on out at about 10:05.
Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty and so much stronger? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder and leaves us breathless in awe and wonder? The King of glory, the King of all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the old the wondrous cross on which the Prince of glory died, my richest gain. I count the loss and for content on all my pride. Forbidden love that I should boast, save in the death of Christ my God. All the vain things that charm me most, I sacrifice them to His love. See from His head, His hands, His feet, sorrow and love flowing all down. Did such love and sorrow me? All thorns composed, so rich a crown. With the whole realm of nature mine, that were an offering far too small. Love so amazing, so divine, it ignites my soul, my life, my own. It ignites my soul, my life, my own.
Also, Jesus, as we head out now up to St. Margaret's, as we walk in prayer and witness to who you are, we say yes to you, that we offer our lives. And thank you for your immense love. Amen. Amen. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Excellent backing vocals from some of the younger members of our congregation this morning. True joy. There's, I think, like 2 minutes to use the loo at the back. There is some tea and coffee if you want to take anything for the road, if you've got a refillable cuppy thing. And Jess is your woman. Follow Jess. Would you like to borrow a brolly to, be like a tour guide?